perhaps, or maybe in the jungle for Tommy and Hotin. There's a lot of mystery towards this draft, but this is looking to be an insanely strong, straight curve upwards, strong mid game, even towards late for the stacking. We'll see how they can assemble this.
Yeah, if Lucian's gonna be locked in, Twisted Fate is also open for QWQ to lock in. It's a 1v1 up against Ari if they want to go for that route, and Twisted Fate gonna be hovered by QWQ.
They're just gonna get double globals here, which just feels criminal to me, Riku, because LFD have said, right, we want to go for this Lucian Nami. We want that early game pressure to try and beat you in lane, but we're sacrificing so much pressure that if they make a play on the map and it doesn't work, they just lose so much control after.
Yeah, so LFD is going to opt for, again, strengthening their lanes. And there you go. There's that Vi, there's that jungle and mid lane synergy. Get that charm, get that assault and battery. There's a lot of single target CC involved.
But when it comes to the team fight, that will be their problem. The only one that they will depend on is Nami and Gragas for the Exosu cast and the tidal wave. If they can connect it, that will be exceptional. But QWQ have to remember, you have Twisted Fate, Riven, you have Aurelia, Galio. All of this has CC, and even Senna has root as well. So pretty much QWQ has all of these utilities up against Looking for Daddy.
I mean, our wish has been granted. We asked for the Vi, they've delivered, we're happy, and I think our casting team is very happy as well, so let's throw it back to them. Contra and Omo, take it away, boys.
Indeed, I'm feeling great so far, Skimmy. And now we're going in for game 2. We saw some interesting draft here coming for game 2 where they finally managed to bring the Vi in for Looking for Daddy. So, Omo, any thoughts to the draft that we just saw earlier?
Well, I'll pose that as a question, all right? We don't know if it was Jarvan or Vi that were winning them games. Maybe it was both, but now we'll find out. Since QWQ banned away Jarvan, gave them the Vi, we'll have to see if that's enough, right? If one Vi alone is enough to fix the problem of LFD's aggression not working, maybe this will be it. Maybe a tanky pick in the hands of their jungler, Wolf, will help them out a lot more, but we'll have to see how that one plays out. I do like what QWQ has, though. A lot of aggressive bruiser diving in kind of thing going on, and they got the globals to back it up as well. They've got both the globals that they 3 globals actually, so I think their comp has a lot of potential.
Yeah, it's all about the globals here for QWQ, and also the big gates here with the Vanguard's Edge locking them all down. And QWQ so far already with a win. Can Looking for Daddy secure one of their own in second game of the series.
Indeed, and I think that based on the draft alone, I'm actually gonna have to favor QWQ once again. I think it looks like a very good draft that kind of fits what they want to do. What we saw from them in the last game was CLJ being in the right places at the right time, using the Destiny's Gate proactively. I think we'll see that yet again this game, and he has a lot of avenues, a lot of possible locations to go towards.
And when we go back into the drawing board for LFD, now that they're bringing in the Lucian, that's going to give them a lot of all these great trades against Bajai as well as Looking. But Bajai could easily sustain out of this. Just get the heals up, and you know that the Senna probably will skill infinitely. We've seen some of all the other matches with Senna who may or may not have all this sort of success, but I think QWQ here at least got a lot more going on for the rest of the picks.
Yeah, I mean, the one thing that I could say is the upside for LFD is kind of what you pointed out, right? The South Bet and Battery combo with the Charm, with Ari dashing in, you have the Vi dashing in. It's kind of a substitute for the Jarvan Vi combo running. Will it be as effective? I think no, because it's a harder combo to execute on. It's more finesse needed. While Jarvan, you just EQ R. That's it, right? That's your game plan.
Whoa!
Once again, Baron lane gap.
Moment that you talk about finesse, Houghton showing some finesse up over the top side there. That's 2 sums burn, and yet again, PP still dropped. Not having that much energy to go with, as here comes Tommy, though, just saying hi to one. While they're already moving into the river, Looking getting caught out, but that will be a charm coming from one. With the gold card stunning right through. One has to pop the flash, and another one goes by. QWQ. Still going to be continuing on. Good bubble onto 2. But they don't have the resources. Tommy will drop.
Oh, Tommy.
While Flash comes right through. Juan, he's looking for the wrong target, though. Looking somehow gets himself a little bit more safe distance. While Juan is still chasing in. Gold card!
Oh,
And he survives! What?
he survives indeed. I think he got the level up. I think what it was he got the level up from the creep, but PP comes in to clean that one up. It's been a very disappointing series so far from PP, but here we go. 1 kill with him to start things off. It was QWQ to start that one off, but a little bit overly aggressive. They do get punished. Wolf here on this Vi, his specialty pick, and it was paying off for him. We'll see if it can really snowball, right? And we look at what's going on up here. There's no aftershock on the Gragas. You want to be playing Electrocute to punish the Riven. You need to make sure you're not body slamming in, because then he can just chase you down the lane.
That's right, and I think that looking back at the replay, it went pretty close, but PP probably have already run out of cooldowns right there. Opting for a Blasting Morn start, could go into a Rod of Ages still if he wants to get a little bit more HP out of that. So, full AP Gragas, what are your thoughts if it's going to be put on the top lane? And they're going to be losing a little tad tankiness, especially when Wolf is also building more towards the damage department.
Yeah, Wolf is always going to be building damage, right? And when he does that, usually we would see from the side of LFD, they would pair it with a full tank Jarvan in the mid lane. Now, going full AP Gragas here means that you guys are going to be glass cannons on the side of LFD. They're going to have so much damage, but if they mess up a spell or two, if they get caught out, if QWQ get the jump on them or get a good engage on them, they are just going to shred through the team of LFD. And that might be a bit of a problem, because we do see Hotian here getting some leads.
Big problems here. Hotian now in trouble. Senna will send in the ult. Hotian still survives, getting one off at the very least.
Oh,
That Ignite trickles down the HP bar, and yet again, Hotian survives to tell the tale. Wolf couldn't possibly give chase, but I guess that he knows the rest of them are coming. QWQ now works on that Rift Herald.
And part of why Wolf backed away so early as well is he knew that Destiny's Gate was available, and we saw CLJ use that to come up. They want to contest this with no jungler.
Good charm, and now the rest of them will secure
need to get
the
out.
Rift Herald, and that's not going to be any more of casualties being shown. Looking for Daddy. Didn't commit to that trade. Now they're also getting more pressure into the mid lane. That's where Vanguard stands. Catch out to 3, and they drop in Hero's Entrance on 1 as well. Tommy now negated with a bubble, while 1 still trading right back. LFD working it well enough, but no kills for them, and they drop PP once more.
Indeed, they do. That's going to be QWQ here, just picking up some kills for themselves. They still have the Rift Herald. Dragon has not been started by either team, so that's still an opportunity that's up for grabs here for QWQ. Very real possibility of them just coming mid lane, dropping the Herald down, and using that timing to rush the Dragons like we see most teams do.
Yeah, and I just look back at some of the fights, and I look back at the itemization. Rod of Ages for Nami. Share me your thoughts, because most supports nowadays, they just rush in for things like Redemption, and maybe Staff of Flowing Water for the Nami. So
yeah, we do see some Enchanter support still favor the Roa. Reasons is because it makes you less susceptible to getting one shot, because as an Enchanter like Nami especially, you really do just get one shot if you get caught. So I can understand the rationale there. Ignite might get PP. Will you get make it in time? Not quite.
Oh, he was so close for that honey
So
fruit
close.
I feel for him.
He started the animation. Yeah, it was close. And I think the executioners from Hotian, they're playing a part as well, right? Cutting the Happy Hour passive healing from PP is always going to help, right? But back to the point about the Rod of Ages. That makes you tanky, gives you a lot of mana so you can spam those heals. And AP is always nice for someone like Nami who does damage, who wants to be healing and pumping out those heals. So it's always going to be nice. I do like items like Staff of Flowing Water, but I can understand the rationale behind snatching that early roll first if you're not having too bad a game.
Yeah, especially the higher amount of healing would possibly give more sustainability for looking for Daddy. More pressure up mid still, while Tommy looking sharp as ever. So far, having some really key plays in some of the team fights have been able to bring QWQ some leads. And not like Colton possibly need any more visits from this point onwards. Now a few items come in.
Hotian has been finding solo leads indeed. CLJ potted once up to try to save his Baron Helena, but wasn't even needed. Those 3 kills that you see Hotian have, they are entirely from himself. He worked hard to get those kills, all 3 on PP.
But
like it's caught.
He gets caught out in between. Now it's going to be a good bubble, and that will definitely negate them with a tidal wave go-kart onto the Lucian. But over the back, it's Benami that will fall prey. But Jai goes down, same towards Chi as well. So a support trait going over. Well, there's still QWQ.
And they do have the Rift Herald still as well. I believe that's in the hands of Tommy. He can't drop that. Ooh.
Oh,
nice.
That's some really good play out there. Great ideation, and that's where they just send down Daunting Shadow, and yet again, it's a killing spree for Tommy. Just diving through turret, and he's definitely feeling great about this Irelia pick.
And I mean, that fight started off with Botjai getting caught and one-shotted there. They did commit the Vi ultimate, but that was about all it took to kill him. And QWQ, they still managed to come out so heavily on top in that fight. Really impressive stuff from them. I'm just curious about when they're hoping to hold this Rift Herald until.
Oh, it's just a little bit overzealous right now. And Tommy, if he keeps playing like
I
this,
think they should drop it.
Most likely he will be punished if he's going to be going for such a stance. But there's not enough members from LFD to just do about that. So QWQ still watching over. Herald being dropped though.
He pops it in the bottom lane. That's a little bit curious here. I expected them to want to go for mid lane.
Hotane had the assault and battery locked onto him. But yet again, I don't think anybody wants to go fighting 1v1 against the Riven.
Wait, they get this for free?
Absolutely.
Okay. Yeah, they don't get the mid lane turret, but they get the bot lane one for free.
Yeah, I question about some of all these macro plays that's being shown from Looking for Daddy. Now the rest of QWQ going in for a little bit of chase against PP. I guess a turret defense is just about good enough. And they can still try to secure the Baron lane turret while the rest of QWQ works towards mid. Oh boy, Tommy.
They're trying.
Once again, that's going to be a culling there that almost completely misses. Just a little bit of massage going on for Tommy. While Wolf secures the scuttle for himself. So
yeah, just a messy situation from QWQ. Your dual lane is in the top lane right now. For what reason? I don't really understand. They're losing so much pressure on the map. They moved their dual lane up there while their team is suffering in mid lane. It just needs to be reassigned, I think. And this comes back to the Herald point as well. You really need to save it to break the mid lane turret. If you have Riven, Twisted Fate, Irelia, you have no problem taking these side lane turrets as long as you have an advantage. Mid lane is going to be a hard nut to crack though.
Yeah, this is definitely going to be a little tad, well, I wouldn't say too difficult, but it's still going to be a little bit of a challenge. And QWQ probably is going to be using that dragon as a bait. Not that Looking for Daddy is going to be in an optimal position for now. No Baron being slain, just a little bit of teaser that is going to happen maybe in a few more minutes time. But QWQ already taking this dragon for free.
I want to point out something very interesting. In every series, right, we see the dragon being contested and fought over 4 to 6 minutes, I would say. In QWQ versus LFD, game 1, the first dragon dropped at 8 minutes. In game 2, the first dragon dropped at 10 minutes. I'm wondering if we'll see 12 in the next one. These teams are just, to be perfectly frank, these teams are just a little bit lost right now.
Yeah, maybe they're just taking things a little slowly. They want to play by their own pace. So potentially we are getting maybe a maximum of 3 dragons for this matchup. I think it's going to be okay for QWQ if this is going to be the case. Well, I want to look back into the setup for LFD. If they're going to be looking for anybody, it always has to start with Wolf. And maybe that's a major concern here when PP is not participating in the majority of the fight.
Yeah, he can't, right? Because he needs to hold the side lanes. I really want to see QWQ now start using Hotin to split push, knowing they've got the globals to back him up if they try to gank it. They've been doing a lot of nothing for the last 5 minutes.
Oh, there is something at the very least. Turns golden for a little bit, but that's not going to be anybody knocked up in the air. Culling brings Tommy to 50%. Here comes Destiny, though, looking for one. Well, they will collapse on mid. Flashback behind, looking now, suffice, but Tommy is not. Good cast on top of Tommy. One secured by one. Well, they still continue on with the trade here. Go-Kart lands on Swan, but possibly this is just about the best scenario for Looking for Daddy. And now they are just going to slowly go in for similar pickups from here onwards.
I don't know what I just saw there, Contra. Wolf tried to start that one off with a catch. QWQ tried to respond, but somehow with double globals, they could not find an adequate response. And it was just one free kill. Tommy drops going over to LFD, right? They burned so much trying to re-engage and keep him safe that when he eventually went in for the dive, they had no more spells. left to buff him up, right? They didn't have the Senna ultimate. They didn't have the Galio ultimate. He had to dive in alone, just gets taken down. And gold lead's still in favor of QWQ, but it's basically close right now. It's a 1,000 gold lead. Both of these teams not finding any significant leads to this game.
Yeah, Omo, I believe that you might just be infuriated when you have so many global ultimates and you can't really coordinate them all together to get some good team fights going on. And that only resulted to looking for Daddy getting one, and the QWQ's response was a little bit lackluster, I must say.
Oh, a little bit lackluster is a bit of an understatement there, Contra. I agree with the sentiment. I think it needs to be emphasized a little bit more, though. I just feel like QWQ, their team comp is so OP, it's so easy to play, but they're content just farming it up, just chilling, engage attempts. I don't know what that was. That was an attempt, I guess. You maybe want to let your gold card start that one off. It's just not a great game, right? Not a great game. And once again, Death Cap second item from CLJ. What are you trying to do with that, my man? You don't want Lich Bane to buff up your cards. You don't want Rapid Fire Cannon to make it easier for you to stun. You want Death Cap? Maybe play Orianna instead.
Well, I guess that could also be a way to work it around maybe for the next upcoming match. If they really want to go for Orianna, it would have actually worked pretty well into the composition that we are currently fielding. Now, Guardian Angel is already up for Wolf, so I guess that he can play more aggressively if he wants to. And if QWQ is going to give so much more time to LFD, I think that this is going to be good enough of a scaling for them to pick up proper fights in the late game for LFD.
Well, I do want to point out 2 Death Caps. Ooh, what is this?
Just a...
This is nothing. That's it?
Yeah. I was about to go into that direction too.
He popped Destiny. I'm trying to pop Destiny for what? For what?
Hey guys, I want to take a look at this fight. I didn't pop my minimap, by the way. Maybe I should join, maybe I should not, but he went back to the base. And now, with a great pickup here up battery onto Loki, not the target that he's looking for. Tommy dropping in with a hero's entrance. Will be able to knock out Wolf. And that's a dive. Coming out of PP1 now under the turret, in trouble, flashes over the wall, he survives, and for how long more? It will be the gold card here from CLJ, stopping him on their track. Look at business that does this punch, and well, let's dance forward. PP still does not secure the kill, but he does have another barrel to just that.
Contra, if LFD win this game and we go to a game 5, I'm absolutely gonna lose it. This is... What was that? Everything missed from everybody. They just hit no spells. The engages are really weird and random. It was a good start to the fight from Wolf, right? He got the punch flash off. That was a nice start. That was fine. Tommy then used his ultimate to dash into the backline by himself. Goes way too deep. And I want to point out Hotin right here. Look at what this man does. So Tommy, he dashes in. He tries to find something. He doesn't quite get anything. Hotin, this Riven, he did so well in laning phase. He comes here to do absolutely nothing. That was the worst Riven I've ever seen in any team fight. And he just dies. Okay, he doesn't die, but it was close. Lokian dies in his steed, right? It just really bad for both of these teams.
Yeah, zero coordination for the moment.
Zero. Yeah, zero.
Could be negative. Could be negative.
Could be negative. Okay, well, LFD is a bit better because they have the Vi, right? And Vi is Vi's like a go button. When Vi goes, it's very simple. Everyone knows, all right, Vi's going in, guys, go, 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 go. QWQ's comp, it's not like that, right? They have like, oh, am I going to dash in right now? Am I going to wait to dash in later? Or something like that. So it's a lot more complex to play.
Indeed.
And on LFD, they have more success because of the simplicity.
I guess it's a little bit of nerves coming into the series when both sides definitely don't want to take any L. But if QWQ is going to be playing passively, then to use their strength to their abilities currently, and maybe it might just be another game handed over onto the opponents. Here comes gold card.
Contra, please. Oh, look, when you have rapid fire cannon, you can stun them from one screen away. Who would have guessed it? Why you predicted it?
Wow. 300 IQ play, but no one's going to be able to follow up. That's a turret for QWQ, so I guess finally they got things going.
I don't know if he predicted it or if he guessed it or what that was, but he nails the ultimate onto Juan. Whole team gets some chip damage onto this bottom lane tier 2 turret. Doesn't quite take it down just yet. But CLJ, who would have guessed that if you were Twisted Fate, rapid fire cannon would be so OP for you? It's not as if this is something that's been played by every other team, every other TF player. And if failing that, you buy a Lich Bane. Fine, I can still understand. It helps you hit turrets. This man goes for Death Cap's second item, Rabadons. I lost for words, Contra.
Well, a little bit of burst doesn't really hurt, but I guess that...
Lich Bane gives you burst.
Yeah, true, it does. And speaking of which, he finally gets his 4th item. So, yeah.
He's big at least. Yep, he is big.
Just at least
17 minutes.
4 items. I'm happy enough that he just have all the right items, just miss priorities, right?
Eventually, we got there, right? We got there in the end. It's just frustrating that this could have been an effective TF 10 minutes ago. I like what we're seeing right now. QWQ, it took them 17 minutes, but are they finally going to do it?
There we go.
They're doing
well,
it.
2 versus 1. Not going to be fair for a PP, but here comes the TP coming in as well. QWQ is going to be moving right in. A Baron call out of nowhere. But that's going to be Tommy with the GA. There's not the target they want. Both turns golden for a bit. Vanguard's Edge holding them back. But goes into safety, not for long, with Flash coming out of Wolf as they hunt them down one after another. Tommy did not survive. Now they're going in with a charge as well. But you know what? Maybe the Baron is going to be much more worthwhile.
First question, how do you lose that fight? Second question, how did QWQ not get bot lane tier 2 turret? Third question, is this contest gonna work?
We hold you to your questions for the moment. There is still a little bit of contest going on. Wolf going low, and that's not going to be any sort of smite available. Yet again, QWQ, they did not really get it.
Oh my goodness.
This is a Baron for looking for daddy.
It is indeed, and whole team gets a mid lane inhibitor. I'm not sure what the call there was, but if they were trying to trade objectives, they need to call to not run it down. They need to call to just buy time for whole team. He flashes for what reason? I don't know. He flashes to secure the kill, I guess. Wants to be sure about it. He has Ignite, you know, but that's fine. Whatever. He wants to go all in.
Just style points, man. No
points.
No other reason. There's no other reason that you want to flash on top of an RE on 1 HP. So let's give him that. Okay. Now LFD possibly is going to be happy about that. They got the Baron. Now my question is, how are they going to be using it? Now QWQ probably have a wave crashing right downwards. And look at this. We already got the Elder up available. So it's all about that objective focus for now.
It is indeed. It's gonna be all about that. We'll have to see what QWQ do. I want to point out once again, it took them 17 minutes for them to realize, hey, Twisted Fate should be potting to the Riven lane, and we can do so much here. 17 minutes, and they still botched to follow up on that successful play. What's going to happen right now? Are LFD going to get this for free? So many questions, Contra.
So many questions here left to be answered, but the CLJ will drop the cold cart onto PP. Bring him down low, Dawning Shadow being utilized as well as the culling. Here comes Hero's Entrance. Perfect one for QWQ. They got them collapsed, bottlenecked in the jungle, and that's where Wolf, QWQ, goes in to sweep them off their feet, looking for daddy. Now gets a question on their side. Who's your daddy? QWQ probably will be able to crash right in to take another end hit up top.
Oh, no. Please just tell me you're going for the Nexus here, QWQ. You don't need this in hit. What? Okay, I guess I'm bringing the wave in. That makes sense. They're going for the end here, Contra.
I guess that will end your misery, Omo, and that's where we are looking at an equalizer eventually, but QWQ still will take another game off of looking for daddy.